Hi everybody! How are you all? I'm just waiting for my phone to tell me that I have actually gone live. It'll be here any minute now, I swear. I seem to start off every live video lately, like, not sure. Okay, I started. It's good. Not sure if I've actually started because sometimes, Facebook had this weird, I don't know, time where I'd almost get through a full live video and then it'd be like, JK, you went really live. I was like, okay, fine. So I start every live video now at the moment, just like waiting to double check that it's all good. So earlier today, I put a poll in the group for you all to see what you were most interested in for today's session. I was originally going to talk about how to option a book and adapt a book into a successful film because that's what I'm working on at the moment. But I had a really interesting strategy session with Jeanette this morning, actually. And so we looked at her big, like, 2-year goal and the stepping stones to get her there, which is just something that I do with all of my clients, is what we're all doing in the group program. And one of her stepping stones, because she's a writer director, is to start networking with producers. And she said something really interesting. She said it feels a bit scary because producers can sometimes be scary people anyway, but they are often the thing that's kind of stood between you getting your film made and not getting it made. And I've never really thought about it from that perspective, mostly because I'm a producer. I've never been a writer or director. Um, and so when she said it, I was like, this is really interesting. I need to talk to you all about this. And it was the winner by 2 votes. So thank you, Jeanette, for pointing that out to me. And I did do a video a few weeks ago now, talking about how you can pitch to producers, but there is a huge difference between networking and pitching. And so networking is something really important that we can all be doing, even while we're in lockdown, even if you have no idea when you're going to be able to get back on set. Networking is something that's really, really useful. And you can kind of do it, from your sofa, which is quite nice to do. So, as always, if you're here live, let me know. If you catch the replay, let me know in the comments. Put all of your questions about networking, producers, all of that fun stuff in the comments, and I can help you out with that. Also, a little bit of like housekeeping before we dive into it. I've added even more calls to this month. So I've added more calls like in the evening, my time, which is usually around morning, like early morning-ish, maybe lunchtime. If you're in Pacific Standard Time, or you're somewhere like, if you're a few hours behind me, because I had a few emails from people saying that they'd love a call, but like the times were a bit crazy for them in their time zone. So I've added more calls and I've added more sessions, and that is someone that's just booked in another session with me. I think my email's like stalking me or something. Every time I'm talking about strategy sessions, I get an email. It's like, so and so's booked a session. Okay, anyway, housekeeping done. Let's talk about networking with producers, because I know it can feel quite scary. I've never thought of it as scary, but that's because I'm a producer, so I've never really had that issue. But I know it can definitely feel scary. So honestly, the biggest thing that I have to tell you all is when you are emailing people, whether you're just trying to get to know them or whether you are like full out pitching to them, you have to remember that they're just a person. They're a person just like you. They have a ton of emails just like you do. They don't like getting cold emails in the way that no one likes getting cold emails. Just bear all of that in mind when you're writing that email. And my golden rule for when you're sending an email to someone you don't know, and later in today's session, we're going to get into exactly what it is that you need to put in these emails and stuff, so we'll come back to it. But the golden rule whenever you're emailing anyone is, could you say this to someone in person? Like, if you were at an event, could you walk up to that person that you do not know, or maybe you have only had like a passing conversation with, and say your exact email verbatim to them, and would it be acceptable? If you couldn't say it all in person to their face, then you need to rewrite your email. I have read a ton of unprofessional emails in my time. God, I sound so old, in my time. But, in the same way that we've all read a ton of unprofessional emails. And I do get, in that sense, why it can be scary, because if you send one unprofessional email to someone you don't know, They know you as the unprofessional guy that wrote an email that was not great. And that's who you stay as in their head. You know, that's who they remember you as. So, in that sense, I do understand why it can be quite scary, but it's really easy to make sure that doesn't happen. So, it's going to be fine. So, key difference between networking and pitching. And I see so many people skipping the networking stage and going straight to pitching. And it's honestly a really big reason of why their pitches aren't successful. No one really likes to get a script or a creative proposal or a treatment or whatever it is out of the blue from someone they do not know. Like, I don't even like getting message. You know, I have people that I don't know that message me with their latest short film, and they send me the link to it, and they're like, "Here's the link, go and watch it." And I reply to all of them and say, like, this is a really unprofessional message to send someone. You know, why on earth would I watch your film? I have no idea who you are. I have no idea what your film is about. Why would I go and watch your film? So never go in straight away with go and do this, because it's like, again, you couldn't do that in person. You couldn't go up to someone and say, here's my script, read it, because it's so rude and it's so unprofessional. And I know what it's like to be emailing someone you don't know. It can be really nerve-wracking, but don't let those nerves turn into rudeness or unprofessionalism. It's not worth it. And I know there are loads of you in this group that would never ever do that, but I do just have to say it because I see it so often. So make sure you start by networking, not by pitching. And essentially, pitching is anything that someone is going to have to do. So if they have to watch your short film, if they have to read your script, if they have to look at your creative proposal, you're pitching. So networking is getting to know someone. And this is why, this is, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say two things at once, which is why this isn't working. First of all, networking is so important to having successful pitches, because that's how you stop cold pitching, because you already know that person. You know, you've already had a few emails with them or a phone call, or you've gone for coffee in like post-lockdown or pre-lockdown times. So it's no longer a cold email, it's no longer a cold pitch. You've automatically increased your chances of success massively. And the other thing with networking is that this does not have to be scary, because you're literally just getting to know someone. You know, you're just getting to know what they're currently working on, what their slate looks like, what films it is that they love, what films it is that they really want to make. You know, that's not scary. It's a very simple conversation. So the first email that you're going to send, and like before we go into this, I have a template, like a full script that you can get if you want to literally just copy and paste the script into emails, so you know exactly what it is you should be emailing and sending out to producers or whoever it is that you're chatting away to and networking with. So if you want that, let me know in the comments. Just leave a little emoji or something, and I will send you the link to it. But the very first email that you want to send is literally just an introduction. You know, in the same way that when you are at an event in person, you say, hey, my name is Charlotte, I'm a producer. Or, you know, you say your name and your job title, obviously. It's going to be exactly the same in email. So when you're emailing a producer for the sake of networking, just send them a quick email, you know. And producers love building a network. You know, we always need more writers, we always need more directors, we always need more people to be in touch with, we always need more ideas flowing, you know, we're always open to that. So the very first email that you send a producer is literally just an introduction. You say, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm a writer or I'm a director. Just wanted to introduce myself. I know you worked on, and give like a couple of their films, and, you know, mention what it is that you liked about those films. You know, most often I'm networking with people that like making similar films to me. You know, I have a really clear idea of the films that I want to make. And so ideally you are networking with producers that also make similar films to the films that you want to make. So if you want to make action films, you want to be networking with producers who make action films, essentially. So you can say, I know you made XYZ and I really love that film, I make films about, and then you can put in your tagline. If you're in the group program, then you know all about taglines. If you have no idea of what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. I'm going to walk you through it. But you say, I make films about so-and-so, and it would be great to connect, post-lockdown. I'd love to buy you a coffee and just have a chat about what it is that you're working on and all that kind of stuff. That's it. That's the first email. It's very polite, it's very friendly, it's just an introduction. You're not asking them for anything, you're just introducing yourself to them. And even if they don't have the time to reply to it, they will still remember you as a writer, they will still remember the kind of films that you make, the kind of things that you write. I'm saying writers a lot, this also works for directors. But it means that they will get back to you at some point. And again, this works for all kinds of things. That introductory email works for all kinds of things. So whether you are a writer and you're trying to network with, and you're trying to make your first feature, so you want to network, this is great. If you are trying to get work experience or you're trying to get your very first job in the industry, also brilliant. That is the template that I used when I sent out a few emails and letters asking for work experience at production companies. And I got an email out of the blue 6 months later from a really big production company saying, hey, we remember, I know you sent this letter in, we've got an opening next week, we need someone to come in for work experience, are you available? And I got the most invaluable 4-day work experience from a letter I'd sent 6 months previously. So again, this works for everything. And there's a very good chance that you're going to get a reply to that, because it's just so, it's zero pressure. It's very friendly. And even if you don't get a reply to it, it's usually because they're too busy. But it will pay, it will end up in some kind of good result at some point or other. Whether it's 6 months, whether it's 12 months, there's going to be a good result that comes out of that. So that is honestly the easiest way to network with people, to get your emails read and replied to. And it also means that you don't have to feel scared when you are building out this network. So, as always, I'm available if you've got questions, any of that stuff. If you're not sure who it is that you should be emailing in terms of producers, or if you're not sure, if you want the exact format or a template to follow, or if you're not sure what your next email should be after that first introductory one, let me know in the comments, shoot me a message, DM me on Instagram. I'm available everywhere. I've also added more strategy sessions to my calendar, so you can go to charlotteproduces.com/call to see my calendar and book in your session. If there aren't any times available at work for you, shoot me a quick email and I'll see if I can arrange something. I'll see if I can add a few other sessions or other slots available. But yeah, and I was going to tell you something else and I think I've forgotten what it is. Oh yeah, about strategy sessions. They are on Zoom, but you don't have to be on video if you don't want to be. I've had a few people asking if they can just do voice only. Yes, 100%, you don't have to show up on video. You can show up on video if you want to, whatever you want to do. Tori Allen just says, what was the first email? If you go back and watch the replay of this, Tori, when it's up, which it will be in a few minutes, I walk you through the first email to network and to send out to producers. And I just walk you through exactly what it is, but I do have an exact script template that you can follow. So if you want the link to that, let me know in the comments. But I know I'm talking to a lot of you on strategy sessions. I have a lot of emails from you. I'm getting back to them later today. Messages, all that stuff. I'm getting back to you. I'm getting on with it. It's happening. It's been a busy day. But let me know how you're all doing. How are your projects all going? All of that stuff. And as always, if there's ever anything that you want me to walk you through for a live video, just let me know. But I will see you all very, very soon, and stay well and safe and all of that, all of that fun stuff.